Have you ever felt this deep fear of abandonment or not being enough in your relationships? What if I told you that these struggles are tied to what we call the daddy wound? She was such a beautiful, accomplished, well-rounded woman, but this was not reflected in the types of men that she chose. This is something that we call the repetition compulsion. This is where you continue to repeat the patterns that reflect your early hurts and wounds, and it's almost like you're attempting to correct it or to heal it by doing it over and over. It could come out as a need for constant validation. So when you're with someone, you're constantly fearing rejection, abandonment, that they are not going to be there for you, that you're not good enough. So you're seeking to be validated. These types of extreme phrases come from hurts and wounds. So what better way to deal with the wound of having a strained, unhealthy, or absent relationship with your father than to say, well, I didn't need him anyway. Just because this was the story of your past doesn't mean it has to define your future. You can have a healthy, loving relationship even if your dad wasn't around. Emotional pain is so visceral. That means you feel it. It's stored in your body. And when you're triggered and you feel it again and you remember it, it feels like it's piercing your heart, piercing your stomach, piercing you somewhere in your body. And so it is a type of pain that most people want to avoid. The problem is the defense mechanisms, the ways that we try to protect ourselves are usually not helpful. They're more destructive and they can lead to us having more pain. We peel back the onion and we want to say, like, what is the thing at the core that you are most afraid of? And for most women, it's the fear that they'll be found out, that they are not enough. When the sad part is they were unworthy, but they made her reinforce that feeling that she was unworthy. When Jay-Z said, you can't heal what you don't reveal. So when we repress our feelings, we push them so far down that we can't even address when they're there. Even the toughest, strongest, high-achieving boss chick woman will need to acknowledge her daddy wound. Acknowledging the pain is so important. It doesn't matter how hyper independent, high achieving, high earning you are. You have to start by acknowledging the pain. You are worthy of love and respect. You are worthy. Whoever wasn't there, they missed out. They missed out on the opportunity to be a part of your triumph. The true healing comes when we focus on the hero, and you are the hero of the story that you're rewriting about yourself. One of the gifts that I have and have really honed and developed over time is the ability to know myself. Know thyself, as they say, so that every major decision that I have made has come from a place of deep knowing. And when I get to that deep knowing, I do not care what anybody else has to say. Make a small promise to yourself each and every week that you're going to do something healthy. The biggest sign of a lack of self-worth is allowing people to drain your energy and to be in your space who do not deserve to be there. You're acting funny, you're acting new, who do you think you are? And just take it with a grain of salt, let it brush your shoulders off and keep moving. Because you know what? They're right. You are changing. You are acting new. You are acting in your best interests. Our early relationships, they are what shape our adult relationships. People with unresolved parental wounds from childhood, they often develop insecure attachment styles. But the good news is attachment styles can be dynamic. They can change over time. To really have a secure attachment, it's about learning to self-validate, not always looking for validation outside of yourself. So many women, because of this daddy wound, grew up feeling unbeautiful, unworthy, like they weren't good enough. If only I were this, daddy would have stayed. He wouldn't have abandoned. So you have to give yourself that sense that that you're good enough, that you are beautiful, you're worthy, and you are enough. The most important way for you to protect yourself and your energy is through setting boundaries. It's about leaving the past where it needs to be and really being in the present so that you can have a healthy, happy future.